So now I got to fill in soil around this. So I don't know when I'm going to get this in the ground at the new house. It could be months. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do with the fixer-upper. And I wouldn't be worrying about gardening at this phase, but I need the garden to wake up in the spring. Right now it's August. I need the garden to wake up in the spring where it's going to be. Hey y'all, my name's Azalea and you're watching my YouTube channel, WayCrunchy. Today's video is a gardening video, a how-to, and do it along with me on moving a perennial garden. So if you follow WayCrunchy and my story, you will know that I have recently bought a fixer-upper. Right now it's August, late summer, and so I'm trying to dig up all my bulbs and my perennials and get them in the ground at the fixer-upper, the new house, during the fall season. Great time to plant your bulbs and your perennials, so then they'll wake up in the spring in their new home. So we're not really moving in to the house this fall. It's not going to be anywhere near done, but maybe in the spring it is, and I want the garden to wake up in its more permanent home. One of the projects that I took on earlier this year in the beginning of summer after they bloomed was I dug up all my tulip bulbs and then planted them in a nice neat row to wake up next spring in another area of the garden. So I am going to re-dig up those tulip bulbs and store them for when I'm ready to plant at the new house. All right, so I've got a sad little garden patch over here that I have all but abandoned because it has been a drought this summer. And I have been weighed down by tomato blight as early in the season as I have ever seen it. But anyway, I know that in this ground there are tulip bulbs and they want to go live in a beautiful garden with me. I have got a little hand shovel. This is delicate work. You don't want to be digging in with a big shovel. Little hand tools. You don't want to slice your bulb in half. And I've got a little tray to set them in after I dig them up. Oh man. Look at this slug I just dug up. He's all balled up because he's scared. I'm not going to kill him. He's a terrible garden pest, but I'm leaving this garden, so I'll let him live here. Toss him over under the bush. Ugh. I'm going to save any worms I dig up too because I'm going to put them over in my compost pile. So I'm just going to put them in the tray with the bulbs. Alright y'all, I have taken my tulip bulbs and wrapped them up in a big sheet of newspaper, given them a little piece of tape, labeled them tulips. Now I'm going to set this with my seeds and other things for the future garden for when I'm ready. Now I've got a lot of irises, like a lot of irises that I have been, you know, it's easy to build up your iris supply, you know, just dividing them each year and planting them around in fresh soil. You know, my irises are about popping out the ground, you know, so I can kind of see what's going on with them better. And it's more of a loosey-goosey kind of job, so I'm going to use a big shovel. Now, I'm in a little rental here at the barn, but I just love the barn with all my heart. And I'm going to be leaving a lot of irises for whoever meanders around here next, but I'll be taking a lot with me as well. All right, so I told you this is hard work. It's high, so August is clammy and hot out here. Anyway, so I'm going to show you an example of one I'm going to leave here to bloom in the future of the barn after I'm long gone. This one's kind of grown into the rock wall, and I'm going to leave it. Look at that beautiful growth. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's growing right in that rock wall. I'm going to scatter a few more over in this patch after I divide them up. While I was in with the irises, I found these guys. Now, I can't remember the name of these, but they have purple blooms, like big circular purple blooms. Anyway, I planted a couple of these bulbs. I think I just got a 2-pack or something, and this guy has 2 babies now, so we'll have 3 of these at the new house. Put these in some paper. Maybe look up on the internet what they are. All right. I've got myself a big basket of irises. I'll divide those up when it's a little cooler. Scatter some of them here at the barn. Send some to the new house. This is really just the tip of the iceberg on the irises, but it's getting hot. I'm gonna take myself a break before I dig up the rest. All right, I think these are the alliums. I looked it up. It's not like the huge, big, beautiful alliums that you'll see. Maybe I'm even saying that word wrong. Anyway, store these away for the new house.
I think it's pronounced aluminum.
It's not pronounced aluminum. All right, y'all. I'm picking back up on this video about moving the perennial garden a few days later. One thing I definitely wanted to show y'all is, so I'm putting in a new garden in new soil. I want to enrich that new soil with my compost. So I have been working over here in my compost. I went ahead and kind of capped what I was composting so it could go ahead and finish, and started a new pile for the scraps and garden waste that I accumulate now. So this is my situation. So this is, you know, just one of those really large totes, and I have fixed it up to be a compost bin. You know, recycle, reduce, reuse. That's what we all about here on WayCrunchy. So this is the compost that was like closest to being finished, that I'm going to use when I put in my new garden at the new house. So I have some video of me getting this ready to be used as a compost bin a few days ago. In general, I didn't vlog in my garden very much this year. So here in my rental barn, you know, we don't have a water hose. We don't have an outdoor spigot. We don't have a rain barrel. So everything I garden, I'm hand watering from the sink. But usually we get some rain. So it's fine. But this year just has not gone that way. You know, we're in Virginia. We got the natural clay. And my yard, in between the grass, has been drying up and cracking like an old pot out here. It's been a drought. So I haven't blogged as much this year in the garden. But in general, preparing for this move, you know, I've got some things that I will probably dig up the day I'm ready to plant in the ground. I'm going to try and get them in the ground this fall at the new property. here we got a big old rosemary, and I've had that since I moved in here. Oh man, the smell is so thick. I'm gonna smell like rosemary the rest of my day for just like wiping over this, but I love it. So I'm gonna dig this up. It's just big, it's huge. I don't really have a big giant pot to like put it in and wait, so I'm just gonna dig it up and move it day of. I'm just cleaning up my garden in general. Let's see, let's make a little something for my rabbit. Some old lettuce going to seed, old stuff. Feed that to the rabbit, put this in the compost pile. Some of this parsley is just sunburnt. The parsley is going to do well this fall and winter. And you know, we're going to be living in the barn through fall and winter. Parsley around here kind of grows as a biennial or an annual. So that's going to stay in here, and I'm just going to eat off it this winter. A little lettuce sprouting up. Mimosa trees grow like weeds here at the barn, everywhere. And pull up some weeds, you know, just cleaning up the garden in general. I got this tarragon that hasn't done much this year. I'm gonna dig that up. These leeks ain't done nothing. I got some turnip greens. I should eat those soon. But yeah, so I'm gonna dig up the rosemary kind of the day I'm ready to move. So I've got some pots. Now pots is something that I collect and I keep. Y'all know I don't like clutter, but I love to garden, so I just collect up pots. Things that you buy stuff in at Lowe's, you know. I've gotten them off the side of the street before, you know, put out with the garbage. So right here, this is a carnation. Just like the carnations you get in a flower shop. And so I'm gonna make sure to try and get the whole root ball. Like give it a nice girth around it. Like don't dig out kind of as far as its branches go. That's how much you want to get. And then I'm gonna put it in a pot. Now, some of this in here, that's not carnation roots that fell off of it. That's some roots from the iris that lived next door. Digging up irises, they're so tough. They don't mind if they lose a little bit of roots. So now I got to fill in soil around this. So I don't know when I'm going to get this in the ground at the new house. It could be months. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do with the fixer-upper. And I wouldn't be worried about gardening at this phase, but I need the garden to wake up in the spring. Right now it's August. I need the garden to wake up in the spring where it's going to be. So I kind of do want to get these situated, but the point is it's going to have to live in this pot for a little bit, but I want to get this done now. So I'm going to fill in soil around here, and then I'm going to put her in a little area where I'm starting a little perennial pot garden until I can get it into its new home. Also, by the way, growing carnations is easy. You should try it. Here's a daisy. I started her this year from seed, so she didn't bloom up this year, but she's going to love to go bloom at the new house. I got more irises. I'm still in the process of splitting up. I'm going to still have to do these. Now, over here, we got a zinnia. The zinnia is just an absolutely beautiful flower, the namesake of my daughter. And this is going to stay right here. It's an annual. We're going to enjoy these blossoms long into the fall when we get home from a long day of working on the fixer-upper before we ever move there. These zinnias will welcome us back to the barn. Now I put in lavender, and it's bushed up a little bit this year, so all the lavender is going to come to the new house. We got yarrow. Beautiful feathery greenery on this yarrow. This is gonna come to the new house. Gonna pot that up. Echinacea. This is a sad little echinacea plant. It was a big echinacea plant last year, and then it came back, just one little bit of it survived. But I got a healthier echinacea, so no worries. All right, y'all, so I got the daisy out, I got the carnation out. Now I've got bunches of irises over here, so I'm gonna split them up a little bit and fill in the empty space where the carnation and the daisy was, because I'm trying to leave a nice garden behind with some flowers. Something low maintenance for someone who might not want a garden. And, you know, if we're still here in the spring, I'd love some beautiful irises all over the place to welcome us here at our barn home. Water any transplants in real good to help them have a nice fresh start. Water those guys in, and of course I'm going to water the pots as well to give them a nice start in their pot life. So water your pots, water your transplants. Water helps plants live. All right, I got yarrow here. Okay, I'm gonna be splitting her up into little pots to spread her around. See this? See how little new girls are sprouting out? All these little new girls. She started out with just one of these, and this is what she is by the end of her first season. One. All right, y'all, this is about the end of this project. There's a few odds and ends around the garden that I'm just gonna get to later. I'm hot, we got a great start. If I had to pack up and leave the barn today and take only these things with me and the bulbs that I've packaged away, that's a great start for a new garden, and that's about darn near everything around here. You know, there's some other loose ends I'll tie up, but as far as this big project at this phase in the game, it's done, y'all. It's done. You got lots of pots around here, little pots, big pots. I got some jugs over back behind here in case the garden goes in before the water pipes go in. We'll see how it plays out. I got yarrow, lavender, tons of iris, echinacea, some snapdragons. These are the big, nice snapdragons. I'm leaving the ones here that this is their second year. This is just the first year on some little snapdragon starts. I got tons of daisies, carnations. What I got over here? Lavender. I don't know if I said lavender. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but that's all, y'all. That's a big old project. I've been working on this for days and days. It would have gone faster if it wasn't so daggum hot outside, is the honest truth. y'all follow this journey, subscribe, and if you want way more videos than you can find here on YouTube, hit me up over on Patreon, where I am also WayCrunchy. If you want to drop us some mail, drop us a note, hit the P.O. box.